All right, Adam. So let's get your updates on everything that's going on. I guess we'll let's think about it in the context of Palantir. We got to run up to $15. We got a bunch of different contracts. We had that new JP Morgan. Adam did a video on how we have a new bank that's potentially using us, and JP Morgan has an interesting history with Palantir. It's been a couple of weeks since we talked. What are your updated thoughts on everything going on in the world of Palantir?
Yeah, man, I think Palantir is moving in the right direction. I think they're doing everything good. I don't really see any negatives over here, and I see that things are growing. So I just want to give a shout out to Felix and friends. He read the Raymond James report. I don't know if you saw that video,
No, I didn't.
and I feel like such a schmuck for not actually reading through the report. And the report explains why Raymond James gave them an $18 price target out of nowhere, right? They downgraded them from an outperform to a strong buy or one or the other, but they didn't downgrade the price. And if you pull up his video, there's like a screenshot. You guys, you can take a look at it. But essentially, what it was, by right now it's 23, 24, 25, I believe by 2026, AIP clients, they're estimating is going to be almost 1-to-1 for Foundry. So they're not going to lose Foundry clients, but exactly how many Foundry clients they have, they will have almost identical. Bro, if you go to Felix and Friends, you'll see it. It's like by chapters, and you could just pull up the screen. Yeah. Go to that second. Yes. And then he's going to go into it. If you could watch this, I don't know how everybody missed this. I feel like a freaking idiot.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I got to download this report. Goodness, this is okay.
You got to pay for it, and I can't find where to pay for it. It's so crazy. I want the content. I can't. Bro, Bard can't find it. ChatGPT can't find it. Nobody can find where to actually pay for the freaking report, and I'm dying to pay for it. The next page is going to be charts. If you fast forward a little bit, he shows charts, and it shows the growth of AIP, and this is why they upgraded them. Mind you, Bank of America, there you go. Bank of America does not take this into account with their $18. Bank of America had them at 18 without this. Think about this.
So
massive, this report.
Yeah, so basically they're thinking Foundry clients will, Foundry, et cetera, not using AIP customers plus using Foundry. Yeah, it'll be 1-to-1 by 2025 end of year. And that's interesting because 2025 is when CARP has expected $4.5 billion in revenue. They haven't changed that estimate, even though the revenue growth has gone down. So if those clients are using AIP, there might be a world in which we beat 4.5 billion, which would be more than a 30% CAGR, which would be kind of crazy if that happens.
So I was really shocked at this one. I was reading that yesterday. I wanted to make a video about it, but I felt like I wanted to talk to you about it first. Like, how do you feel about that? I did not take this into, we knew they were going to grow, right? But we said it, but this is an analyst, whether, take it with a grain of salt, but it's nice to visualize what we were thinking.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And the reason that's a big deal is because a lot of these clients are going to be, so the reason this is such a big deal is because implementing AIP, I think by now people realize you've got to train the LLMs on this proprietary data in these companies. And if you're doing it for like 300-400 clients, that's a lot of upselling. That's a lot of compute power. That's a lot of work that ultimately Palantir has to charge for it, the bill for at the end of the day, right? They did it with like 6 companies at AIPCon, which is great, but doing that for 200, there's a lot of forward deployed engineers. You're gonna have to hire a lot more people. Like that's just a shit ton of work. It's not just this plug and play software. You have to really integrate it into a company. So that'll be a lot of work that they have to do, but the revenue upside should accelerate. And the key thing here is if in 2023 and 2024, before we get to 2025, a lot of those clients see results from AIP, from using those LLMs, and then Palantir has to report on those results, that's the marketing in and of itself. And so the question becomes, if Cisco's like, hey, it's another Tyson Foods, we saved 200 million type of thing, and they're doing it across different industries. Like, this is exciting. And then the healthcare stuff is exciting. That CNBC article we talked about a couple weeks ago, I'm just like, all right, so Palantir should be in every hospital in the United States of America, every hospital in the world. That's their TAM. Every hospital in the world should be using LLMs and AIP to be able to do what Palantir's. Like, there's a lot of opportunity there, and there's a lot of progress to grow for a lot of the Foundry clients.
Yeah, so that's a huge piece of news that everybody missed. So shout out to Felix for finding that. I was in awe, and I was gonna analyze his video because I want the information, but give him credit for it. I don't want to just steal his screenshots. So that's one huge thing that's happening to Palantir. Another huge thing that's happening to Palantir, and again, we got to connect the dots here, is this that open letter that they wrote to open up the $877 billion of funding.
That's correct. Let me pull that up. I don't remember.
if you just read behind the lines, this is coming right after Palantir came out with the Fed Start, their program Fed Start.
Yep.
And FedStart essentially allows Palantir's relationships and Palantir's IL5, soon to be IL6 next year. They're gonna do that as well. And you can piggyback on their clearances, and they're gonna essentially be like auditors for you. And now they write this open letter to open up this $866 billion budget, not just Palantir, but it's kind of like front run by Palantir. Palantir is like the leader, and everybody else is following in this letter. And you could tell by the picture that they're using because they're showcasing SkyKit, right? Really nice. So essentially, they're saying, look, we might be winning this thing with Russia and Ukraine, especially there's going to be a huge new push between hardware and software. That's my opinion. And I think this is where it's coming from, that now that you had this cool, maybe Russia's being a little weak, maybe Ukraine has that much more ability to win now. Whether you believe it or not, they have at least so much more now after what happened. And Palantir is now pushing the narrative of, listen, we need to actually open up funding to the software companies. And this is a huge push, not just for Palantir, but also for Palantir's new product of FedRAMP. Am I the only one speaking? Did Amit jump out? Guys, let me know if I'm the only one speaking. Oh yeah, I'm the only one. All right, cool. So guys, welcome to the Adam Bergman Show. I appreciate you guys. All right. Anyway, so I'm really excited with that as well. And there's a bunch of other things, of course, that's happening with Palantir right now. Anybody got any questions, or shall I just keep speaking? 1 second. So let me just pull up the Palantir trading view then. What did I have a question over here? Screen froze. They knew the funding would be open. Yeah, so Palantir Hotline, shout out to you. So it's not that they're losing business, is that they're making an on-ramp. So look, Palantir is really, really good at being, hey, welcome to the show, Amit. Good to see you. So today we have a very special guest. My man Amit, you guys have been all waiting for him to come on the show for quite a while. We finally got him as a co-host today.
You can hear me, right?
Welcome. Yeah, we can hear you,
bro. Literally, my thing's just frozen. Like, I don't know what's going on with the laptop. It's just frozen. It's like I have to open up a new browser, but it's still, I haven't exited out. It's still frozen. Yeah, keep going.
It's all good. No, I'm just saying, like, somebody asked, isn't this going to take away business from Palantir? And I don't think so. So Palantir, look, you guys ever went to Subways? You guys ever went to McDonald's? Of course, everybody did. Did you ever notice that their new item menus is always the same type of food that they have? They just recombobulate it in different ways, right? Instead of doing right? It's the same thing. They just change how they'll put some fries or some mozzarella sticks in your burger, but they already had fries and mozzarella sticks on the menu.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Palantir is doing, and that's how you're maximizing your profit. So AIP always was in the back pocket of Palantir always had AIP without actually having AIP, but they always had the capabilities. That's why they came out with a full working model in less than 4 weeks, an actual viable product that more than viable, because people are actually showing you how they're using it. Same thing with this Fed Go now. They're able to maximize their profits and increase their revenue in any way, shape, or form. And this is one way that they're able to do that. Also, they're building as much relationships as possible. The whole point of this game is build as many relationships as possible. And if you help somebody get a contract with the government, guess what? You're going to make a partnership like they have with Anduril in the future. That's my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but that's the way I see it.
So what are your thoughts on NVIDIA and Snowflake partnering to bring AIP to commercial clients? Do you think that's a head fake or that's real, legit?
I'll tell you the truth. Snowflake is a good company. Databricks is a good company. Datadog, all of them are good companies, right? But there's a difference between good and great. And good companies, God bless you, isn't it?
Thank you.
And all good companies need to become great. And how do you become great? You got to jump on the bandwagon of what's happening right now. What's happening right now? AI. What specifically in AI is the strength right now? And not NVIDIA's chips, large language models. ChatGPT is what it is right now. ChatGPT is what it's going to be in the next year, unless something else comes out. So now you want a ChatGPT for your business. large language models, the AIP. So now Databricks has something. The CEO went on, did a really, really good interview and talking about how they're making essentially, I'm going to keep calling it ChatGPT for your business. Well, now Snowflake wants to make ChatGPT for your business. Just like
Yeah.
you said, they acquired some AI company recently. Forgot the name, you mentioned it.
Eva. Yeah.
Yeah. And they just wanted. So now the only, I don't see as an issue, but it's kind of a compliment. The only other company that I know of that can do digital twins is NVIDIA.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see what Snowflake's going to do with that. Are they going to try to do the digital twins like we do, like Palantir does? But remember, Palantir has been doing this for a decade. They probably had this large language models already for 3, 4, 5 years. You're not just going to catch up. It's the same thing that's happening with Bard right now. Bard is not superior. It is subpar to ChatGPT. It hallucinates. It's really shit compared to ChatGPT. So that's what I see. So it's imitations, right? And that's good. That means this war is real. That the market is growing. So we just need to keep our market share. It's going to keep expanding this market. And that estimate from PwC that it might be a $15 trillion market by 2030.
Oh, they said 15 trillion. I heard 4 trillion. That was the top that I heard.
No. So PwC is higher than ARC. ARC was, I believe, 14 and change trillion. And
Wow.
PwC actually gave 15 point, I think they did 15.3 and ARC was 14.7 or 14. One is 14, one's 15. But PwC was 15.3 or 15.7, one of them.
In 2033?
2030.
2030. Wow.
They're saying that it's insane. And Statistica, which is probably the one that you probably saw, which was 1.6 trillion when we started covering it a month ago, changed it sometime. And now they have it at like 1.8 or 1.9. So even they upped their numbers. So it's very interesting to see what's going to happen with this.
Yeah, I also think that to build something like AIP and truly transform a business, you have to consult with the client. You have to actually work with them. You have to send engineers. If Snowflake's thinking like, oh, we can just send you this, flash drive and you plug it in and then boom, you've got your generative AI capabilities. I don't think that's going to be the case. So the red flags are they had to acquire a company to be able to do this. Palantir innovated within a month after ChatGPT announced, and then they launched it to some pilot testers. And then the other red flag is you're partnering with NVIDIA. Palantir didn't have to partner with AMD or NVIDIA or do some fucking conference where Karp is talking to a chip company. Like I know NVIDIA obviously can play a role in the AI space in the context of enterprise spend, but it's a chip company. And like you're partnering with them to like, it seems more like branding, and NVIDIA is like, well, you have 8,000 clients. And if we can get a little bit of some of that, right? So NVIDIA, I think is like, well, of course, why wouldn't we do this? Palantir said, we're going to put we're going to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. We're going to get our hands dirty. We're going to build a product. We're going to give it to clients, and then we're going to host a fucking conference in 2 days or 2 months. And like the idea that loses to something that spends 70% of its revenue on sales and marketing to sell a transformational product that's probably not going to have any level of consulting with the client to really integrate it. Not saying it's not going to happen, not saying they're not going to get clients to adopt it, but I feel like it's more of a Microsoft problem where they're just going to bundle it with something. It's not going to be that standalone product that takes your business to the next level. And so,
yeah, I mean, people are not giving Palantir enough credit. Like seriously, people are not giving Palantir enough credit. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
I was going to say Databricks, right, is valued at $38 billion. And Databricks just acquired a company called Mosaic ML to do this sort of LLM stuff for a $1.3 billion. What is Databricks going to go public at? 60 billion? Really? Like, I was reading an article yesterday that says their fair market value in the private markets is probably 25 billion, not $38 billion. So that's more than Palantir. And they're not doing $2.2 billion in revenue. So the idea that Databricks, which is another competitor in their space, is going to go public at a crazier valuation, and they had to acquire a company to build what Palantir is doing. Palantir has acquired no one for like 7 years. I mean, it's just hard to believe that Databricks and Snowflake are going to take Palantir's lunch when Palantir came up with a product in 2 months. And then Karp says the demand is crazy, and he'll be proven true or false in the next couple quarters.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Palantir gets no love. Okay, IL4 clearance. Snow gets IL4. They're the best. They're unbelievable. They got it, bro. When Palantir got IL6, nobody gave a flying fuck. I think that was a down day for them. I kid you not. I believe that was a down day.
Yeah.
Palantir gets
IL6. We were like, oh, this is crazy. We were the YouTubers, the only ones who cared.
It's insane. It's like you cannot do anything right when it comes to Palantir. Meanwhile, they can't do anything wrong. At the end of the day, they're not going to grow as fast. Snowflake, Palantir is going to grow. I really do think they're going to take a lot of the market share with this AIP because they were also first to market.